Wow, I can't believe you're actually prepared with that.
I made it up in the moment and on the spot.
I fucking knew it.
And this is Gaytriarchs.
So our family has been going to the doctor a lot lately. I had something scraped off my face. My husband had something scraped off his body. We had kids in and out of the doctor. It's just been a lot of doctoring.
And this is not just exfoliating, apparently.
This is not just exfoliating. But I took my daughter has been, how do I say this in a way?
Oh my God. I can't wait. What is it? What is it?
She has been complaining about pain in her bathing suit area.
Okay.
Okay. Except what she's been doing is in the middle of the grocery store, grabbing her crotch and screaming, "My vagina hurts!" like as loud as she can. And then I'm like, I don't know what to do. So anyway, we take her to the doctor.
This is, by the way, not a laughing matter. I'm glad to know that this is followed up by you took her to the doctor to figure it out.
Yes, exactly. We took her to the doctor, and the doctor was like, "Oh yeah, it's this and this and this and this." And then she goes, "Well, actually, I think it might be strep." And I was reminded, if you remember from 50 episodes ago, my son got strep throat, but it's not strep throat. It's strep on your butthole. You can get strep, like streptococcus, whatever the
wow,
but it's on your butthole.
Streptococcus.
Thank you. That is exactly right. Streptococcus, and I forgot that until she was like, "This is probably strep of her butt and vagina,
of her taint."
Do
basically
girls have taints? I guess they have.
I mean, sort of between,
because usually it's taint the balls, taint the
taint. Right, but taint the
guys. This is if you're a first time listener, welcome to the show. This is Gaytriarchs core.
It's but classiest.
It's classy. But so I was reminded if your kid has pain or because she doesn't wear diapers anymore, so I was like, it's not diaper rash. Why is it so red or whatever? It was strep of the vagina.
So she has to go on like amoxicillin or something.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. She's on like an oral antibiotic, and then she has a cream for 7 days. But like, and then the doctor. Oh my God, I hope my daughter never listens to this. Then the doctor was like, well, and then once it's cleared up, she's like, after a bath, just take some like Vaseline and like rub it on the inside to give it a protectant. And of course, I have to ask, how far in? Like, I'm looking dead ass into this doctor's face, and she could see. I'm struggling, and I have to ask because I want to be a good dad. I was like, how far in? And I was like, the inside of the outside, the menorah, the majora, and it was a very uncomfortable.
But what was the answer?
The answer was like there's like the outside part, and then there's the inside. But like, there's like the ring around. I'm feeling very uncomfortable right now on my own fucking podcast episode.
But at the same time, no, I think it's important that these are important.
So it's like inside the front, but like not inside of her. You know what I mean? Like there's like inside the outer lips, basically.
Yes,
right?
That makes perfect sense.
But that was the part that was red, and so whatever, it'll be fine. But it was just
crazy.
It's the uncomfortable questions we have to ask our doctors.
Yeah. And so like the discomfort that you would feel in your throat from strep is probably analogous to what, that sounds awful.
It sounds awful. And of course because she cries about everything. I'm like, yeah, move it to the back, sister. And she's like, no, I'm actually suffering from a medical condition, you piece of shit, dad. So anyway, that was my week.
Speaking of piece of shit dads, I am still, we're in week 178 of me trying to convince my daughter that she needs to do music in high school. And there's nothing more to this except that it just keeps going on and on and on. And we are negotiating with a terrorist. I mean, I know that she thinks, I don't know what, that the cool kids don't do music, but let's be honest, we know that it's the cool kids who do the music,
100%.
obvi. And but we have gone through stages of she doesn't negotiate with me because apparently I'm an asshole, but she negotiates with my partner. And every single night that he goes in to say goodnight to her, because it tends to be me first, and then he goes in, and every single time it's, so when am I getting my bunny? When am I getting my bunny? When am I getting my bunny? Right now it's a bunny. If she is downsizing to I have to get a I don't know, guinea pig or some bullshit like that.
Wait, catch me up. You've promised an animal if she takes a class?
No, that's if she will sign up for a high school class of either choir or band.
She gets an animal.
No, I'm not. No, I'm like, this is your success your path to success in life is you just do this. And she has turned it into, I get rewarded for putting my own self on a path to success in life. Now, I did negotiate, and I said because it is worth it to me to fly her across the country to see Gracie Abrams in concert somewhere. I want to do it at Red Rocks Amphitheater in Colorado, where I grew up going. And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of self-serving. I can see my friends. I haven't been to Colorado in a while. Anyway, nope, that wasn't good enough for her. That was not good enough for her. She wanted a puppy. And we're like, we're not.
That's a whole other level of animal.
Right? We're not getting you a puppy for this.
Because if it's if it's like a hamster, you can just kind of let it out of its cage if you're bored. You know what I mean? But like a dog, you get in trouble for that. No,
not that I've ever done that before.
We don't condone that on Gaytriarchs. No. We are very anti-murdering your pets for your own convenience.
But we're like, no, you're not. And it is the clock is ticking. And Todd and I both feel very strongly that this is a non-negotiable, except all we're doing is negotiating, and it goes on. And I don't know what the answer is going to be. She really wanted to do a volleyball camp, a super expensive sleepaway volleyball camp this weekend. I'm like, okay, but you have to sign up for band. She's like, that's not worth it. Volleyball camp is 4 days. That's 4 years.
If she goes to volleyball camp, she's going to have to learn some Melissa Etheridge music on her way back. So she must. It's kind of killing.
Might as well be able to play it on the trumpet too. Anyway, it goes on and on. Parents out there, anybody who says that parenting isn't about negotiating, please let me know, listener. What am I doing wrong? Aside from the fact that I know the more I push, she is evolutionarily bred to push back on and hate me for everything I say right now. I get that. That's fine. And you choose your battles and you choose to not have battles. This is will not be a good dad if I do not win this battle, I believe.
Yeah. I am still in awe right now that you said the word evolutionary without tripping up at all, and you were crisp. It was like you were a voice actor. I'm actually very proud of you. That's amazing.
Did you see how I did slow down? And
you did. You I absolutely slowed down. I just wanted to give a quick update to our listener. If you remember, it was the last episode of the episode before where I was talking about like Culture Week or whatever at the daycare, where we had to bring in something that from our culture for a snack, and I fucking made up we are like I am biologically Scottish. I am not culturally Scottish. Right. I do love Scotland. I'm going to marry our listener Liam from Inverness. But I just was like, I guess this, even though my daughter is not biologically related to me. Sure. So anyway, so I made Scottish shortbread cookies for the class, which half of which came back. And so I was like, dodge that bullet. Well, bitch, did I not look at the calendar for Friday?
Oh no,
it's dress as your culture. And bring something for show and tell from your culture.
Please. Wait. Please tell me you will just dress her up as Florida white trash and give her a bottle of scotch, cheap scotch, and just let her be culturally Floridian, please.
Oh my God!
Please.
And she brings in like a cease and desist letter or something from her culture. But no, I was just like, literally, what do I do? Because I think I've said this before. Our daycare, we're so lucky, is like naturally diverse. Mm-hmm. You have every sort of ethnicity, every culture, every language, every whatever. And this little white bitch just chasses in there in her tartan plaid. And so what we luckily did was when we went to Scotland, we brought back the kids like little stuffed animals, and one of them was a stuffed Loch Ness monster. So from her culture, she brought back a stuffed Loch Ness monster from Scotland, which she has no relation to whatsoever. No.
Wait, how did you dress her? In tartan?
No, we just absolutely put her in like jeans and a t-shirt, like nothing. Like we did. We were like, we are aggressively not dressing for this. It feels very uncomfortably. So speaking of uncomfortable, this, I don't even know why I'm saying this. This has nothing to do with anything, but
discomfort.
On TikTok, there is a guy, and his account is called The Necessary Conversation. And
Ooh.
if you've seen it, you've seen it. He's
he's
kind of gingery, bold guy, young, probably like mid-30s.
He's always in the West. He's in like the fields with mountains.
No,
behind
you might
him,
be thinking of something different, but he's in like a studio with a podcast mic, but he's interviewing his MAGA parents. And his MAGA parents are on their fucking Gateway laptop, their Dell Premium, whatever.
You pretentious liberal
with its like
condescending.
It's stock camera inside and no microphone, but like he's aggressively laying in a recliner looking away from him. But it is him, the guy, the son, basically saying, "So, Dad, what do you think about blah?" And all they do is talk about politics. And the parents are monsters. They are the poster child for these sick, poisoned boomers who are just like, well, Biden had pedophiles in the pizza. Like they are there. And this guy keeps trying. And every video, the comments are like, you've got to stop talking to your parents. Your parents are terrible people. And it was really, really, it's really hard to watch, but this guy keeps trying. And then I saw a video, and this made me so sad. And it was basically saying, this woman was like, I'm a mom of 2 girls. I raised them in a liberal household, in a liberal area, very progressive, whatever. And then my daughter, when she got older, married a MAGA, and now she's MAGA. And I was like, I have to worry about this?
Yeah.
I have to worry about my kids turning MAGA? Oh my God.
There was an article recently that I read in, I don't know, maybe it was some pretentious liberal thing, of course, full of lies and misinformation. I think it was either Vanity Fair or New York Times, but it's all about the trad wife tradition and that the trad wives are taking over, frankly, our spaces, yoga, health food stores, and realizing that sometimes you wonder, are the kids going to save us or are they not? Yeah. I don't know. We think that the kids are all right and they're going to fix it and they're going to grow up. No, bitch. There were an awful lot of young people who voted for Trump last year.
If I have to admit this, like I kind of have a secret trad wife fantasy, like just sitting around making butter all day and like sewing quilts and looking out at the
Yes, but
pasture.
Listen, when Doge destroys our entire economy and you have to do that without not by choice, let's go back and listen to this as if we could, because it's digital and there will be no digitality anyway. So
that's true. Well, this has been very unhelpful to our listener. Do you have something helpful for them? Please tell me.
You know what? I have a dad hack of the week. My partner came up with it. And he said, so my children are now of the age that sometimes, rather a lot of the time, we have to hide stuff in the kitchen from them so that they don't eat, an entire box of Samoas in 5 minutes. I am the one who eats the entire box of Samoas in one night, right? Mm-hmm. So we hide stuff from them and we bring them out for their lunch treats and whatnot. And he's like, guess what? The place where I know that they won't look for it is the vegetable drawer in the refrigerator.
Genius.
Hide all of your little Nutella bars or your little cookies that you need to, ration behind the broccoli, and the children will never find it.
That's so smart, because we have we call it the dad basket, and it's the top shelf of one of the high cabinets. Listen, my kids are 5 and 3, so they can't really do much, but that is so fucking smart, because we for sure have, like, if there's some sort of candy or whatever that we want, we're like, no, bitch, you're not going to put your grubby little claws on that.
And eventually, I mean, if 5-year-old to me says climbing up on the counter anyway to try to get to the dad basket. Yeah. So anytime soon, rather than him falling backwards and cracking his head open on your, bamboo floors, you need to put it in the vegetable floor.
The bamboo floors.
Speaking of nothing, I have some news of the week. Which
please
is,
be good. Please be good. Please be good.
Please be good. Have you heard that some absurd legislator in Texas has passed or has introduced a bill to stop furries from being able to pee and poop in a litter box in schools?
Yes,
right.
I did see this because it is as stupid as you can imagine. It is like one of those things where you spent your time writing this. When this is not a thing that has literally ever happened.
Well, since we are America's finest news source, I did want to do a little bit of fact checking, and there are on Snopes. There's quickly a whole section on furriness. By the way, I brought this up to my daughter who talks about disparagingly about the furries in her classroom all the time. And she's like, it's just people who wear like little headbands with ears. And sometimes they they tuck a tail into their jeans. And she's like, I roll my eyes at them. I'm like, listen, they sound like people who are actually having a lot of fun. But I'm like, hey, listen, there are no litter boxes in the bathroom. She's like, no, and nobody would do that. That's absurd. Of course not. So anyway, this is totally debunked. There is no proof.
No.
There's certainly no board of education or no superintendent or no principal in the entire country who has put a litter box in a bathroom.
Yeah.
And so I did read some of the excerpts of this bill that he's introduced, and he's like, it's a distraction, which, okay. Just for the sake of argument, I'm going to give him the benefit of that doubt that some kid walking around all day long in a hamster outfit is a bit distracting. And yet at the same time, I mean, whatever. So they're basically in pajama day every single day.
When I was in high school, it was popular for girls to wear a baby pacifier around their neck and eat baby food. Yeah. They would put the pacifier in their mouth and they would eat baby food because high schoolers are fucking weird and theater people are weird. We're all trying to be cool and edgy and whatever. It's not a fucking thing. If you want to protect children, close the churches, bitch. Where do you think? Where are the children getting molested? The fucking churches. So stop with the bullshit. Stop with the we have all you're wearing you're wearing cat ears. It's so who fucking cares? Sorry, I'll get off myself.
I'm with you. It is such an incredible waste of time and energy for this guy to go grandstanding so he can be written about disparagingly in the fake news. Anyway. I feel like that's good news to just roll our eyes at stupidness. And whatnot. So, yeah.
Well, listen, we talked about this last week, and we think we want to start. Gavin and I were talking before we started recording. We think we want to start this as a new, consistent weekly thing we do because this show is about parenting, but it's also about hot guys, which is a weird little meeting. But so we're gonna do DILF of the week. And every week we're going to bring you our favorite hot dad of the week. Could be a hot granddad. It could be maybe a hot uncle, some sort of parental figure, but somebody that we think is hot. And so
you're so lucky to have me on this because I feel like if last week when I brought this, you were just rolling your eyes like, oh, great, Gavin's gone down some new rabbit hole. Mm-hmm. And I love having a new something of the week every single time. But if you want to rebrand my idea, please go right ahead.
I'm not rebranding. I'm just making it good. So, listener out there, if you want to write us a little musical jingle to get us in to DILF of the week, kind of how Gavin and his husband did Gaytriarchs, top big list, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. So if you want to write us something, oh my God, please send us your ideas. I don't know if we'll get anybody to submit anything, but we would really love that because we don't want to do the work. Okay, so this week's DILF of the week, I'm just going to say is mine. We don't have to go back and forth. But I was watching a TikTok of his, and this is a person I've known for a very long time, and I just suddenly was reminded he is very hot. Now, he's a little adjacent hot, and that is Ezra Klein. Now, if you don't know who Ezra Klein is, he's a journalist. He's a political commentator. He's got
podcaster.
He's got a podcaster. He's been on MSNBC forever, whatever. He's got a slightly nerdy Jewish vibe going on.
100%.
But have you seen him recently now that he's starting to go a little gray?
Oh,
the hot meter. Oh my God. He is a real daddy. He's married to a woman. He has 2 kids, but he part of his hotness is his physical features. He's just physically very hot, but he is so smart. He's so well-spoken. I watched this video of him and Jon Stewart going back and forth on a certain thing, and I was like, I would fuck these 2 guys so quickly at the same time. So anyway.
Talk about 2 silver foxes.
2 silver foxes, yes.
Just a silver fox sandwich, please. Yes. Also, I am not kidding here. This morning when I was in the shower, I was thinking about Ezra Klein.
Oh.
Insert joke here. And I was thinking, God, it would be so amazing to have him as a guest. And because part of the reason is I just this morning ordered his new book that just came out last week. I'm a huge, you may have brought Ezra Klein to Gaytriarchs, but I'm the original Ezra Klein superstar fan, whatever. He has a book that just came out last week called Abundance, and it's basically a completely new political theory about how Democrats get in their own damn ways by having too many rules and regulations. And like, we can't build the high-speed train between San Francisco and Los Angeles because there's too much regulation, and that's just stupid. And while we don't all want to be Texas, hi Texans, at the same time, Texas is getting things done because they just have less red tape. And it's essentially like super liberal. I mean, he is from San Francisco, basically, but super liberal, but also like, just don't be dumb. Do not be dumb. Let's think in abundance, not in, scarcity mentality.
Yeah.
And so, Ezra Klein, since we know that you are a listener, when we say listener, we're thinking of you, Ezra,
Yep.
also the guy in Scotland. And we can't wait to have you on the program because I think he's already like, he's an honorary Gaytriarch without a doubt.
You know what else is dumb and gets in our own way?
What?
Our top 3 list.
Gaytriarchs top 3 list. 3, 2, 1.
This week, so on our centennial episode, we were talking about 3, memories from having done 100 episodes. And I quickly wanted to morph that into just what are the 3 funniest moments that come to mind for you? Now, I did not go back and listen to 100 episodes in doing so. I've only listened to probably 3 as it is. And those were the ones that I talked the most in. So, but what does come to mind, what immediately comes to mind are these 3 elements. Number 3, Jamie Grayson talking about making cocktails for a hookup who then looked up at the wall and was like, why do you have so many baby carriers on the wall?
Yes.
The visual of all of that just really, really cracked
And
me
that
up.
he kept the simple syrup in the fridge for all of the trade that wanders through his door. Yes, I remember.
That was a good one. Number 2, this was the serious discomfort where I was texting you on the side thinking, this is the creepiest, weirdest interview we have had yet. And I can't remember his name because why would I go back and do that work? And I don't want to name check him, but it's the older guy with the cock ring. And he just kept talking about his very active sex life, which, hey, I hope may we all be having active sex lives until we are 115 years old. But that was just so painfully awkward. And did you ever get your free sample in the mail, by the way? I thought, didn't he say he was going to send us some?
I feel like a lot of guests that come on, they'll be like, "Oh, I'll send you with this," and they never did. You know who did send us was Eric Weidmayer. Sent us his book.
Yep. Shout out,
and by
Eric.
the way, I saw his little poster in the airport, which was so fun.
Also,
Gavin's laughing. I'll tell the story. Gavin's laughing because I was leaving the airport and I see this giant poster. And it's Eric Weidmayer, who was our guest, and he's famously the blind mountain climber and blah blah blah. You know,
not gay,
but he's not gay. Yeah. And so my first thought was, I'm going to take a picture of it. I'm going to text it to Eric. I'm going to say, hey, Eric, have you seen this? It's at the United Lounge.
I can't.
And as soon as I went to go text him, I went, David, he's blind. He can't see this. He hasn't seen this.
Oh my God.
And you're a monster. And then, of course, I immediately text Gavin. Here's what I was just thinking about. Anyway, so.
And I said, you're a monster.
Yep, I am.
And
Number 1.
I got to give it to her. When Ellen Marsh was talking about her hookups, and when she said that she basically screens them for being MAGA, and she asked a guy, did you vote for Trump? And he had to stop and think about it. What was it? And that
she goes, who did you vote for Trump? And he goes, no. And she goes, okay, good. Wait, who did you vote for in 2016?
Right.
And there was a pause.
Because he wasn't old enough to vote then.
To vote.
Good for Ellen.
For Ellen. Yes, that was a really good one. All right. So one of those is a crossover. The Ellen one's crossover. So I'm going to submit that. I'm going to change that at the last minute. But I'm looking at my list and they're all just funny things that I've said. So get ready.
Well, you are the funny one.
Except for number 3. Well, except for number 3, because I had to switch that at the last minute. All right. So number 3 for me, nobody knows about this. Gavin knows about this, but you listener have never heard this. We often do, when a guest wants to be on the show, we'll do what we call a pre-interview. And it's like 15 minutes, and it's just us getting to know them. Why do you want to be on the show? Are you, whatever. I interviewed this author who was like, hey, I'm an author. I have this book about a gay dad, whatever. So I was like, great, I'll meet you. This guy, I was asked, he was so awkward, so weird. And then finally, he's not gay. And I finally said, oh, well, like, do you have gay friends you could talk about? And he goes, no. I said, you don't have any gay friends? He goes, no. My sister has an uncle who was gay. And I was just like, oh my fucking God. And at the end of the pre-interview, I've never said this to anybody else. I said, I don't think this is the right show for you. And he was like, I don't think so either. And then we hung up.
To his credit.
I know, but he was like, I wrote a gay character. And I was like, okay, but why are you going to be on Gaytriarchs? You're not a dad. You're not gay. And you have how do you have no gay friends?
Yeah, that was a bizarre.
Anyway, forget that. Number 2 is my story about when I took my daughter to the park and she was still wearing diapers. And of course, because I'm a great dad, I did not bring the diaper bag. I was like, we're just at the park 5 blocks away. What could happen?
Right.
And she just stops and she freezes and she makes direct eye contact. And I'm like, fuck. And she takes this huge turd in her diaper. And I'm like, I don't want to like have her walk home in this. I don't want to carry her because I'm going to push it up against. So what I did was I kind of peeled back the diaper down. And like the old lady in Titanic throwing the heart of the ocean off the ship, I went, whoop, and I just tossed that little turd into the garden bed of the park. I pulled that diaper right back on, and we walked the fuck home.
Oh, you're so funny for thinking you're so funny, but that is a funny story.
That's a funny one. And my number one favorite funny thing that happened that I said on the Gaytriarchs podcast was recent, and it's when I caught Gavin following me on Instagram recently. When I got that fucking notification that said Gavin Lodge, your partner in business and in art for over 2 years, followed you on Instagram.
Yeah, that was funny.
I did a terrible job in this top 3. I apologize. But next week it will be my week. That's true.
Okay.
Next week,
please up the standards.
I'm going to make it really difficult.
Oh God.
Top 3 women.
Okay. All right. You know what? I think I already have them.
Great. Our next guests are a couple of actors, a couple of lovers, a couple of parents, and a couple of former strippers. While they got Broadway, TV, and film credits galore, what they don't have is any self-respect, which is why they're here and spending the next 30 minutes with us on Gaytriarchs. Please welcome to the show, Gabrielle and Nathan Reid.
Yay!
Hey guys!
That was the best intro ever.
I am
that's
honored.
Right, former strippers.
I am absolutely.
I mean, point to the lie, guys. Point to the lie.
There is no better athlete than a stripper. I'm sorry.
Well,
honey, you got nothing on Diamond at the Gentleman's Club. Get out of here.
Let's talk to Cardi B about it. I mean, come on. But before we get into all of the fun stuff, let's start with our first question. How did your son drive you bananas today?
Let's see. I will be honest. Today he was pretty good, but actually there was a moment that came to my head that was actually, it was kind of a while ago. Probably about 2 years ago. We were at Christmas in London, England at my sister's house. Mm-hmm. And there was probably about 25 people there, like her entire brother-in-law's family was there. And, you know, we had a beautiful day and we go to put him down and there's a little basement apartment they have. And so we put him down and everything's fine. About an hour and a half later, I was like, oh, I need to get something. He's probably asleep. I walk downstairs and I'm like, what is that smell?
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
And I had my phone on me and I didn't want to wake him up yet, but I was like, you know, maybe the toilet overflowed or something. I turn on the light and I don't see anything. And then all of a sudden I look up. He has taken his poop and smeared it all over the wall.
Picasso, baby.
Not only was he not asleep yet, but he has taken poop and smeared it all over the wall. And
this is the best beginning to this podcast ever. To hear a great Picasso poop story. Apologies for interrupting your disclaimer there, but I needed to make the disclaimer that this is my favorite way to start.
He's very good at interrupting our guests and not letting them talk, so just get used to it. But what I also love about that story is that not only is that story canon for parents, right? But also, I feel like also as canon is the grandparents or the like surrounding family being like, oh, but maybe he's an artist. He just wanted to play. You're like, bitch, you clean up the art then.
Oh, yeah.
You come and clean the art.
That was like, that did not happen in this house. And it kind of made me feel better because thank God I was in a house full of parents. And then my sister literally was like, here's a bucket, clean it up. See you later. Like, she was like, okay. shit happens.
Shit literally happens. And especially if they do that, like both of my kids have done that in their respective cribs. And you think you clean it all up, but they have all the little bars. And when we took apart my son's crib to move it to the next room, I had found all the hidden layers that had kind of dried and congealed into this like Jurassic Park. Yeah. It was wild. It never goes away. But that is such a canon event. That's literally happened to everybody in this call.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, I just thought about the newest piss off though. We had one toy that was left over from Christmas randomly. And obviously we didn't know what it was. So we were just like, oh, Dash, got a present for you.
This is your fault.
I didn't know what it was.
Oh my God.
I didn't know what it was. So it happens to be a dinosaur that when you pull the arm down, it goes, ah! And it's like a really cheap dinosaur. So it's like a really bad, like awful sound. That's for him. I would
all of those
every day at 4:30. So I'm like, bye.
No. She opened the toy, showed like, oh, it must be broken. Blah blah blah.
Because I thought it was. We were moving all. It says move the thing, and it wouldn't do it. And then we figured it out.
And then she got it to work. And then she's
and
like,
of course now that's like his favorite toy.
I'm gonna go to work. And I was like,
the worst.
So, obviously, with Dash being on the autism spectrum, sensory things are really, really big for him, right? So he was on his tablet watching some educational video, and the shit was just roaring in the corner. Rah, 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 rah. And I was like, rah! I was like...
Well, you have to put an audio disclaimer on this episode and be like, there will be Jurassic noises on this episode. Gavin.
Before being done, I would like to see this Jurassic dinosaur actually.
Because I told him actually to hide it from him this morning when we were getting him together for school. Oh yeah, here it is.
Play it
this
for us.
Fucker.
Play it. Oh man.
And the mouth lights up.
Yeah. That stuff finds its way to the trash can in our house.
Oh,
really
not only
quickly.
that, but I didn't know that you could get the arm stuck and then it'll just repeat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But one of the dad hacks that we did many episodes ago, but it literally saved our lives in the infancy and the baby stage when there was like the toys and the games and the speakers or whatever, is to put clear packing tape over all the speakers. It was the only way to have the sound at a reasonable volume. But I'm glad you mentioned Dash with his autism, because that's something I really wanted to bring up with you, because I feel like for parents or anybody who don't have anybody with autism in their lives, autism can be this like blanket broad whatever category that I think a lot of people don't understand, especially the word spectrum, which I think people think go to like 0 to 10. You have the most autism or you have the least autism. So tell us a little bit about how he was diagnosed, and also what does autism mean for Dash, but also how can you educate our audience? Because our listener is very dumb. I'll be honest.
So Dash is I personally would put Dash sort of in the middle of the spectrum, and also a new segment of the spectrum that actually was diagnosed during COVID. It's called social communication delay, where the attributes of what you're seeing look like autism. It is treated and trained like autism, but 9 times out of 10, once the kid gets the concept of what it is, you don't ever go back to it. Whereas a lot of times with autism, it's a daily, sometimes lifelong retraining. Should that be?
Can you go back 2 seconds?
Yeah.
What do you mean by once you get a handle on what it is, you never go back to it?
Meaning like the specific concept. The specific concept or a specific routine or something like that. Sometimes,
for example,
depending on, like say for instance, like with him with his communication, there was a point where he was absolutely nonverbal, and we were teaching him sign language and everything like that. The second we got him into preschool, and he was actually in a class learning words, sight words, blah blah blah. Now he talks like crazy. And there are certain things that we will never, ever have to go back to because he now understands the system of it. Whereas certain spectrums of autism, you're still using sign language. You're still, redirecting things, which he does have to do, but it's a much shorter amount of time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then like I said, we'd noticed that he was nonverbal once we got him into school. And now he's in a specific autism program called Horizon, which is in New York City, which the blessings of that happening. There's so much need for it and so little seats. So sometimes it can be very, very hard to get into the school, but now he's living and thriving. So now a lot of it is like concepts for him, whereas like the who and where is really good, but the why and when, he might only be able to answer you like one level of question. He won't be able to like continue a conversation.
Yeah, he wouldn't be able to answer, why did you like going to the park today? Can't give you like, or
if he does, he'll give you like a rote answer of like,
it was fun.
It was fun.
And he's not even answering your question. It's really interesting. What he's trying to do is get you to stop asking him because he's frustrated.
Because he doesn't know what to say.
I mean, if we asked him, like, why would anyone listen to Gaytriarchs? He would have no answer.
No.
Which is the right answer.
He would probably say, I love you.
That's the right answer. Well, honestly, that's what, most of our listeners just like, I don't know why you listen to the show.
And also, I can't help, but I'm going to be the voice of listener out there saying, but wait a minute, my 13-year-old child who is undiagnosed with anything necessarily also has a very hard time saying why they wanted to do something or why they didn't. But I imagine here it's just a matter of like, to use another term, it's a spectrum of like, your kid is just being a 13-year-old who isn't thinking beyond, but your son just there's a way his brain is programmed. It's just, he's like, I just stop asking me questions.
Kind of, yeah. And he'll get very, his body will get really silly, or, he'll start jumping up and down to try to get you to move on to the next thing.
Distract you.
Absolutely. And we definitely did all of the neurological exams and the question and the million bubble things. And parents literally call it alphabet soup of all the different abbreviated names of all the different applications you put in and the different things that you do, so we did the whole thing. And he was properly diagnosed in probably 2021. Because it was around the point of about 2 years old and he wasn't talking at all. Yeah. And at 2 years old, you should have small form sentences, and be able to like actually hold a small conversation. And he wasn't saying a word. And it turned out that this social communication delay bubble kind of came up with a lot of kids that were born in COVID because they missed out on the actual social communication. They didn't go to the park. No one came to visit. And a psychiatrist put it to me perfectly. She was like, when you play Legos with him, you go pick up the Lego, look at it, put it down. He goes, open up his fingers, see the Lego, close the finger. Like you're missing like 20 steps between, and he only sees that from another child.
Interesting. Do you ever think about like how, because you and I have a similar age child where our kids were born just before the pandemic started. So we had like we were first time parents during the pandemic. And I know this sounds really stupid, but I think about this every once in a while. I think about, do you remember how fucked up that first year or two was? Like I think we've all kind of erased it. We're like, oh, COVID, whatever. But like when somebody reminds me of how fucked up it was those first 2 years, and then you have a baby, and then you have a baby diagnosed with autism. And it's so, I have no point to that story other than like, I'm often reminded, oh no, it was a fucking hellscape.
No, it's serious. Cause there is sort of like the blessing of it as two actors. Like there's literally no time in the world where we would have been together for the first like 2 years of his life. Yeah. All the time. To be able to see all these milestones and everything and, be able to help each other, blah, blah, blah. But however, it was so fucked up with the fact that we literally couldn't go outside. Like we already don't live near our family as it is, between Ohio, Atlanta, California, London. Our family's super, super spread out. So they couldn't even come to visit us. It was absolutely awful.
So can I quote you guys? I'm sorry. Can I quote Gabrielle and Nathan as like, you love COVID and are glad about the global pandemic? Can I submit that to Broadway World?
I don't know.
that you're very happy that people.
I said it was.
I'm kidding. I'm being a dick.
All the time.
But wait, you did mention you guys are both actors, which I think is interesting because one of the questions I had for you is my husband is a Muggle, so we have an actor and we have a Muggle, but you guys are two actors. Yeah. So how, as parents, do you make scheduling work? Because as we know, you're like, I'm booked. I got to go out of town for 4 days. No, but I'm out of town that week. But is it a constant calendar nightmare?
Constant. Yeah. There are 2 dry erase boards on our front door that we redo every week.
Oh, and I get to tease her all the time because she's like, babe, would you write it down on the board? I cannot tell you how many times I've written it on the board.
And I'm like,
she's
and I'm like, wait, what was Wednesday again?
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's on the board. The board exactly because you put it there.
I mean, all of our brains work a little differently, and I would think that you two would know that.
I know. I've got that board. I've got this board in my brain that's constantly moving and shaking. I'm then adding Dash's stuff to my brain board before I put it on that board. Yeah. So I need to find out what's on that board before I figure out Dash's stuff, you know?
Yeah. Her greatest comeback, and look, I'm going to tease myself like there's no tomorrow. She's like, oh yeah, babe? Oh yeah? Oh yeah? What's his doctor's name? And I was like,
Not only that, I am the dad who like, I'm doing the pickups, I'm doing lunches, I'm like the whatever you want to call that. But often when I'm like scheduling appointments, it'll be like birthday, I'll be like 114.
What is it?
Like I only have 2 kids.
Flight 0528. And I have to say that to myself sometimes when it's like, when's your son's birthday? And I'm like, D19 flight 0528. The beginning part. And they're, oh man, if you videotaped my face, they're like, there's a delay. Yeah. You know that spinning wheel of death that you get on your computer?
Yeah. I'm like, no, I know my son. He has blonde hair, I think, but I know him. I just don't know his birthday.
So the bonkers balance that you have to strike in auditions, let alone having jobs. I mean, illustrate that a little for us besides the dry erase board.
We have 2 times of the day that we can get auditions done. It's usually between about 10 a.m. to about noon. And then after my show, I get home at about 10:30 and 10:30 till about 12:30, 1 o'clock.
She will literally, and this is a great part. And we call this great problems to have, right? The problems that we are talking about is like our careers are just moving. Yeah. And so I will literally get a text from her that's like FBI audition. And what that means is set up, and it doesn't take us long, but it's like set up the entire self-tape thing. So she's walking into the house and everything is ready. Most of the stuff we teleprompter, which is
we have a teleprompter system where we have like a table that has like 4 boxes set up to like wherever I need my eye line at. And the script is on the computer, and the
done
is my person that I'm talking to, and Nathan is literally scrolling, and like.
You have to do that. I have a similar thing where I have a TV behind where my camera is, but like you have to do that. People like, you know, sometimes your agents or managers will be like, no, we need to have it memorized. You're like, bitch, you can't give me 8 pages of sides and have it done in 3 days. I have to put my kid's shoes on.
Yes.
Yeah. And for the muggles out there, what I think we are already skipping over because we speak so quickly this language of acting is that you're talking about a self-tape audition where your agent sends you the sides. You're going to do an FBI audition. Nathan sets it up for you. And for the muggles, you stand there in your house with a camera 6 inches from your face and you're speaking to it and blah, blah. And you get to, thank goodness, you have the luxury, which didn't largely exist pre-COVID, of being able to self-tape at home and send it off. And thank God you didn't have to schlep to Ripley Greer and sit in a waiting room for 90 minutes, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, yes, but also the thing I feel like we're missing, and again, this is a little inside baseball, I swear we'll move on, but is like what you do miss is any sort of direction or feedback from the casting who can just go, oh, the tone of the show is much more muted. Can you do it again? And blah, blah, blah. Or remember that he's actually mad at her, or whatever the context of the thing is, especially if it's something new. Yeah. That is so hard because you sometimes 100%. Feel like you're flying fucking blind. Yeah. Like, the line says, I love you, and that's it. What the fuck does this mean? And there's nobody to ask.
And you get like one fucking line of like synopsis or like character information that truly could be read in any way.
Yeah. Oh, no, 100%. I remember there was a voiceover audition, and it was a 2-paragraph long description of the voice they wanted. It was like adult with texture who's got history and thought and future. And the line was Dove. Babe, that was the audition. And it was a 2-page bio of what the sound would sound like for the word fucking dove. Anyway, whatever. Moving on. I want to move on because...
Wait. No. I don't want to move on too much further because I want to hear about Gabrielle's job also. We haven't actually said what it is. Tell us about
her
your
very
job
magical job.
Oh, my magical job. For the last year and a half, I have been a wizard in Harry Potter and the Cursed Child on Broadway.
Wow.
It is amazing. I'm swinging the show, and I cover 4 tracks. I cover Madame Hooch and the Trolley Witch, and also Hermione and Ginny.
Amazing.
She goes on for Hermione tonight.
Yeah, I'm actually on for tonight. Yeah.
Woo!
Oh my God, that's amazing.
How are you wasting your time? Don't you need to be looking at your teleprompter right now to get on those lines?
Oh God, I hope not. God, if I don't know it by now, honey, we need to start the fuck over.
Can you imagine if the conductor monitors on the rail were just your lines because you could never fucking remember your lines?
That's
actually kind of a good idea, a good hack, just in case you had to.
I wish.
Wow. So you're a magical wizard. And also, Nathan, you have a very, very interesting job. Please tell us well, listen, you're an actor. You do a lot of things. You do film, TV. Yep. You did one musical, which maybe we can go into one time. But tell us what your day-to-day is, which I think is super interesting.
Yeah. So I have been standing in and photo doubling for Ryan Reynolds for coming up on 5 years now. And when I tell you that maximum effort crew has become a family, it is a family. They obviously know Dash and they know his whole journey. The executive producers of Maximum Effort have bought him books that have become his favorite. There are certain ones that are just amazing. And then Ryan did this really amazing thing because, so I have this custom built Deadpool helmet that Maximum Effort built for me because they needed me to wear it, or whatever it is, for when we were doing all of his commercials for Deadpool Wolverine. And Dash wanted to put it on. So he goes to puts it on, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Dash, who are you? And he goes, I'm a Spider-Man, because it's the same colors.
It's the same color red.
It's red and black. And so I show this to Ryan, obviously telling him about, Dash's autism, whatever it is. Ryan goes, give me your phone. He takes my phone and he records a video for Dash telling him that he is Spider-Man, but he's a really bad Spider-Man because red swinging doesn't work, which is hilarious because, and I haven't even gotten a chance to tell Ryan this story. So I showed Dash.
He's listening though. I'm sure he's listening right now.
He's
I showed Dash this video and I was like, hey Dash, who's that? And he goes, that's Dada, because I'm in the video obviously with Ryan. And I was like, no. Who's the other guy? And Dash goes, Grandma. I had no idea who he was because he's outside of the mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Grandma. That is Grandma.
Ryan that he officially is Grandma.
I feel like Ryan would 100% do a spin-off of the Grandma Deadpool universe. Yeah. How fucking funny would that be?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. That would be amazing.
So over the last
as long as I get to play her.
5 years now, we have done we're past about 225 commercials. That I've
shot that is
with
wild.
Him. Because it's the only crew that every time we get together, it's a 3-day setup. They build the sets at the Samsung stages in Brooklyn, and then second day I show up, shoot all the commercials with the whole the team, and it's the same DPs.
They actually put me in one.
They put her in one.
Yeah.
They upgraded her. They upgraded both of us actually for a Mint Mobile spot, and then third day we shoot between 15 and 22 commercials.
Wow.
That's
crazy.
Now, I want to know how you were discovered for this. Did somebody just on the street say, hey, you know who you look like?
What's really interesting is I have this thing where, and this goes with actors that I think are just going to do well in their career, is we've all got mortgages, we've all got families, we've all got dramas. And we want to just show up, do our work, have as least amount of drama as possible. And when you have that level of professionalism, I think people just get the sense of oh, as Gabrielle says, show up on time, be cool, don't be weird.
He's referring, by the way, listener, to the fact that Gavin was 4 minutes late to this interview.
Absolutely.
And that I'm weird.
Circle back.
Late is unacceptable.
Circle back to that thing. So how it came about was I had worked with a lot of A-listers, and I was just known as this guy that's I'm not going to check a selfie with you. You don't owe me anything. And also, I would do the thing to where it's I'm not really talking in social media about doing that thing. Like it's so weird. It's like because when you're a stand-in and photo double, you're kind of a part of the crew, but you're not a principal. It's not like I'm posting these commercials because I was in them or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that got back to casting, that it's like, Nathan's cool. Like, da-da-da.
Mm-hmm.
So I show up randomly to the sound stages 5 years ago, not even knowing it's Ryan, not even knowing it's going to be a Mint Mobile and Aviation Gin sort of day. And I'll tell you the funny moment where I thought that I booked the gig, or I didn't even know that it was going to be this long standing, is I was standing behind the Aviation Gin set, and they were lighting it based on me, and Ryan shows up, and he goes to say hi to me, and he comes around the bar, and he goes, "You're not standing on a box." And I went, "No, I'm not." Ryan is about 6'2" and a half. He is tall, like in flats. Yeah. Like, you can tell how much taller. Like, he wears Converse. He does not wear like anything that gives him any lift whatsoever. And I'm about 6'1" and a half. Like, and I always wear boots because I spent a lot of my life in Wyoming, and I just knew that he was tall, but I didn't know how tall. And I was like, damn, in boots, he's still taller than me, like by a little bit or whatever it is. And so it was just this thing of like, okay, cool. Like, I just thought it was one day, and then that was going to be it. And then 2 months later, they called me again. 2 months later, they called me again. And that was 5 years ago.
Yeah. That's awesome. Amazing. And listen, you've spent so much time with Ryan, and you don't have to tell us, but like, have you gotten to like maybe shower or kiss him, or like maybe you guys fell asleep together in a trailer holding each other? Like maybe if you want, we can stop recording. You can just tell us really slowly while maintaining eye contact with me.
Because he needs to know this is so. Gabrielle yells because we're in the living room. Gabrielle yells from the living room, "Babe, your boyfriend's on TV."
And what does he? And he goes, "Which one?
Which one?" There's this pause, and I literally yell back, "Is it Chris Evans? Is it Ryan Reynolds? Is it Hugh Jackman? Is it Alan Richson who plays Reacher?"
He's big on man crushes.
Who is
very,
it?
Very big.
And she's like, "Oh, it was Hugh Jackman." And so, I came, running into the room, whatever it is. So there's an ongoing thing of you want cuddle sessions. You know what I mean? With certain people.
Yes.
It's like not sexual. I don't need to.
Oh, not at all.
I just need you to hold me for 10 minutes. That's all I need.
For warmth. You know what I mean?
Maybe feel like we're having sex, but we don't actually have
exactly.
Correct. I'll be thinking about you fucking me, but we won't be doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. For research.
Yeah,
acting,
getting into character.
You're actors for
subtext.
Yes, but the bromance
for stand-in subtext.
Yeah. The bromance is really real because I think when you acknowledge those types of relationships and you see that, like, oh, this is actually the healthy level of male friendship, it actually kind of normalizes, like, we can hug each other. We can tell each other that we love each other. Like, just putting those things into existence.
Straight people having to think about this. I just feel so bad for straight people sometimes. Like, instead of just being like, I don't know, I want to hug my friend, so I hug my friend. Man, that is hard. I would be like to Ryan and be like, listen, I'm your stand-in. How does it feel for your penis? Can I just really see? I just really quick. It's not a gay thing. Oh my God. Yep. I just want to see. So wait, I have a question about you guys because you guys are city parents. And for those of the listener who don't live in cities, being a city parent, I assume, I am not really because I'm just outside the city, it's got to be hard. Tell us about, like, what is it like to be a city parent?
I personally don't think it's hard. It's just different. Timing is very much a thing because you just have to make sure that the trains are on time and making sure you know where you're going. Fortunately with Dash, he loves the subway. He loves it.
Loves it.
Mm-hmm. Loves it. So literally sometimes Nathan will literally take him 2 stops on the subway just for fun.
Yeah.
Because
he doesn't want to go anywhere.
He doesn't want to go anywhere. He just wants to
we live at 168th. He just wants to go to 125th, turn right back around.
Yep.
Does he study the maps? I've heard about kids wanting to study subway maps and they memorize them entirely.
This fucking kid. We have videos of him. We live off the A train. We're at 168th. He will start at 168th. He is now all the way to J Street Metrotech. And he will go stop after stop after stop. And we literally never go past 34th Street with him. Hardly ever. So he has like a whole nother half of the train.
Yeah. And if you just ask him about it, it's really fascinating to watch sort of almost like a Rain Man type of answer is that, obviously most kids love maps. He loves the subway map to the point to where when he was, he had a private speech coach, and she had one of the really big subway maps that was like just outside of her office. And Dash, when we arrived, we'd always arrive like about 5 minutes early.
David.
About 5 minutes early for his session. And he would go, "Can I go look at the subway map?" And I went, "Yeah." And he would just stand there and study it.
Yeah. It may even be a boy thing. I mean, listen, it could be autism. It could be the boy thing. It could be just him, or whatever. But like, they're like, I have a boy who, like, you know, there's some trains and metros and all that kind of stuff is just so fascinating to them. I always think about when I was working in a theater up on the Upper West Side, and I remember seeing at the bottom of the stairwells of these buildings, like all the strollers where like the parents would like leave this, and I would just think, you're in a 5th floor walk up with a baby. Oh my God, I cannot imagine.
Non-negotiables before, because we moved apartments right before we were like, okay, we might have a baby in the next little while. Elevator, laundry in the building.
Yep.
Non-negotiable. I was like, we will figure the rent out. I don't care. I'm not fucking schlepping laundry.
You're like, I'm a motherfucking wizard. I will get my fucking elevator.
I will get in my elevator and take this carriage up.
And I remember the day that it sort of changed. We had this apartment over at 154th Street that didn't have laundry in the building. And in one sentence, this girl goes, "Oh my God, it's so freezing outside." And then we started talking about other things, whatever it is. And she's like, "Oh, babe, we need to do the laundry." And I was like, "Can it wait?" And she's like, "It's not that cold out." I was like, "Bitch, you just said it was freezing."
Because laundry.
If you check the tape, ma'am. Yes.
It's his job, though.
Yeah, and she goes,
just a slow fade.
Now, the one thing that I will say that is really, really fucked up about city children or doing kids in cities is schooling. Now, in regular suburbs, you just go to the school down the street 9 times out of 10, unless you know you have some crazy speciality. Mm-hmm. It is mind-numbing because not only is there your zone, then there's your district, then there's the different types of school within the district. Do you want private? Do you want magnet? Do you want religious of any sort? Magnet schools, charter schools, blah,
and then you find the school
gifted
you
in
want to go
advance.
to, and then there's a waiting list.
And then there's a waiting list.
And there's no... like, you have to go, here's the most fucked up part, is you have to find all this information out on your own.
Yeah.
She's a part of literally mommy Facebook groups.
There's so many Facebook groups that are
which are the Wild West. We had Cece Kane on the show a while back, and she's kind of like famously makes fun of those groups. Yeah. Those groups can be so good.
They're amazing, but then sometimes it's like, okay, back off. That's not what I fucking asked you.
Hey, mama.
Uniforms. I was not asking about your trauma in the school. All I wanted to know is, do they wear uniforms? Calm
down. Okay, so wrapping up here, it all happens so fast. These interviews always happen so fast. But I know there's so much to talk about. Well, don't worry about it. I am curious if you have a favorite and a least favorite part about being parents. You can each answer if you want.
I mean, For me, of course, my favorite part is just him. He's truly the coolest guy, and he's really funny because he's not only is autistic, but he's also a Gemini, and I mean, he is a Gemini. He is either bouncing off the fucking wall, or he is like cuddling into your esophagus to where you can breathe for the amount of love that this kid truly has. He's honestly a bundle of love. He's so great. Do you want to give a worst part?
Worst part is, I would say, those moments, and this is a subtle, amazing parent humor, where it'll be about half an hour before his bus is supposed to drop him off, and we'll be like 30 minutes left before the tornado, and we say it because he literally is an actual tornado that like just comes in and like destroys your living room, and
and the place is so tight,
so nice,
and we're just like, oh.
And it takes him less than 5 minutes before it just looks like there were 7 kids and a rhinoceros that entered your living room.
Yeah.
And so we will just take a moment and we'll just go 1 week on a beach with a cocktail in your hand, and it's like this erotic thing.
Yeah, you're immediately erect. Immediately.
We're talking about.
You create this porn in your head, but you're actually doing nothing.
Nothing.
In silence.
And she's just like
so sexy.
And no Dash. And Dash is at his grandma's. hopefully alive.
Hopefully. I feel like nobody ever got it better than there was this, it was a TikTok or a meme or something that was like, my favorite thing is being around my children, and my other favorite thing is not being around my children. It's like, those two things are exactly the same. I want them around me immediately, and I want them as far away from me as possible. Don't fucking touch me.
That's what recently our Mother and Father's Day presents has been. We have like breakfast or whatever in the morning, and then it's like, go away.
A day off. Yeah, that's what it should be about.
Not come back in this house until after 8 o'clock until he's gone down.
I don't want to hear your voice. I don't want to get a phone call from the nurse saying you have the sniffles. Sniffle by yourself, kid. I'll see you at 6.
Yep.
I'll see you at 6.
Figure it out.
Okay, so wrapping up, last question for you is, do you have, I'll never forget the time where you earned that parenting badge so hardcore, when something went totally wrong, where you were like, oh, fuck, I will never forget this story?
I would say, and obviously you, like most men, and I will take accountability for this, I would not be able to function and or be a parent without her, right? Like, I'm surprised I know where the hospital is. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know it's that way.
We live too.
Funny that you're saying that this on a podcast hosted by two men who their entire identities are that we have to do everything ourselves. But anyway, please continue. Please. We are very pro women on Gaytriarchs.
I lean hard. You know what I mean? It's like when you know Patrick Mahomes is your quarterback, you're aware.
I'm going to stop you right there. This is a podcast hosted by two gay men. It is offensive that you use a sports metaphor on this platform.
We don't like hockey anyway. Okay, so
is your
well done. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry.
So
to answer, wow, we didn't even answer the question. Okay,
no.
Dash had a night where he, the kids come down with stomach bugs, and you don't know what it is. And he not only couldn't keep down solid food, but all of the liquid was literally like coming out of him.
Yeah, he was probably about just pushing 2.
Yeah, and so, we took him to the emergency room. But again, this is during COVID, so only one parent was allowed to be there. And she was sent, and I'm just like sitting at home, like, you can't sleep. Yeah. It's the middle of the night. And she's just texting me videos. And the whole time I was just thinking, the stress of I can't be there, so I have no idea kind of what's going on. And I would just say that getting him through that, and like us as a cohesive team of going, babe, I got this. And she knew that I wasn't going to go to sleep, but she's
and me saying to him, like, I got it. I understand what you're feeling. I would feel the same way, blah, blah, blah. But please try to get some sleep, because when I get home, I'm going to need some sleep.
It's that tag team of like...
Please try to get some sleep. I will text you. You will always wake up with a text and know what's going on, da-da-da, whatever. And if you don't have anything, nothing happened. We're just chilling,
And it's just further proof that like parenting at that age is a relay race. It is a constant relay race.
Yeah. And you have to have that moment where you ask for help. And we have almost like wrestlers who are like tag teaming each other. Nice. On the nights when
a little above, a little behind.
Yeah.
All of that of just saying like, Yeah.
I mean, Gavin, you tag team some wrestlers back in college, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah,
absolutely. And it was all about the ass smack at the end. Yes, for sure. Thank you for demeaning yourselves and being on our stupid little podcast. We love chatting with you.
Anytime, my friends.
I rarely go into the social media world because, frankly, I'm not very good at it. But I am definitely obsessed with an influencer her handle is shop_AIF, and her bio on Instagram says NAACP Image Award nominee, creator, author, diversity advocate, and host, and a big old rainbow. I'm not sure exactly what her identity is, but I think she's in the queer umbrella.
Wait, is this Rashonda?
Yeah, Rashonda Elias. She's amazing.
I'm obsessed.
She's
with Rashonda.
Absolutely amazing.
She is arguably a perfect person.
Yeah. Hey, Rashonda. Did you
I've messaged her. She hasn't messaged me back. But please, I don't want to take over. You're something great. I love her.
I love her when she stands up and says, "Let's take a look at the board," and she breaks down, society for you. And
that's what got her famous.
Oh, she's just fantastic.
And her cat, Nutmeg. her cat Nutmeg,
Yes.
she has these full-on arguments with her cat sleeping on her. She'd be like, Nutmeg, I know you're trying to go out there and hoe with all these boys, but like she is, but she's so funny. She does that breakdown thing, but her political stuff where she comes for you because she lives in Kentucky, so she's amongst and she was talking about Andy Bashir recently.
Oh,
our daddy of the week last week.
Not exactly our original DILF of the week, but wasn't the original? How embarrassing! I pulled somebody from the Trump administration. Remember the Anyway, let's keep it something great. Rayshonda is something great, and we can't wait to have her on the show.
Gavin, this is the best something great you've ever had. I am so obsessed with this woman. She's a lesbian. She was married to a man early in her life. She had kids. She came out. She does this. Yeah, she's so great. You have to go find her. Okay, my something great is not even good. It's gonna pale in comparison to Rayshonda. But there's those things that tickle you that you just can't explain why, for whatever reason, people falling downstairs, or like there's some sort of thing that just like gets you so belly laughing. For me, it's people who are trying not to throw up because they smell something gross, and they're like, ugh, and they're just on the edge of throwing up, like, dad's changing a diaper for the first time or whatever. And so that stuff gets me in a way that I can't. I have found the funniest try not to throw up video I've ever seen in my life. And this is one of the something greats where like I can't explain it in the right way, but I will post this on our Instagram when this episode goes out. But it is these two women who from the way they're dressed, it looks like they work at probably a doctor's office, and they're like maybe nurses in like a back room. And one of the nurses is trying to tell a story about having to walk her boss's dog, and the dog pooped, or it was something gross happened. Right. And her memory keeps bringing up, she goes, and she has to keep stopping. But her throwing up is triggering the other one, who has to say things like, stop, you're going to make me puke. And like her voice changes. It is, guys, it is arguably the perfect video. It's a perfect video. So I'm going to post it to our Instagram on, when is this coming out? Because today is definitely April 2nd. And we're going to post it to our Instagram. And I hope you love these women as much as I do. They've done other videos similar, but this one it's perfect.
I love that their handle also is @pottymouthchicks. Yes. And that's our show. If you have any comments, suggestions, or general compliments, you can email us at GaytriarchsPodcast @gmail.com.
Or you can DM us on Instagram. We are at GaytriarchsPodcast. On the internet, David is at David FM Vaughn everywhere, and Gavin is at Gavin Lodge on nothing.
Please leave us a glowing 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts.
Thanks, and we'll puke on you next time on another episode of Gaytriarchs.
I have 2 questions because I'm always the serious one.
Here we go.
Not serious, but no. I'm so curious. When Dash got his diagnosis, how did you react? And what kind of community have you been part of?
Mm-hmm.
This is the most Gavin Lodge question I've ever heard my entire fucking life.
I desperately wanted to ask it earlier.
I know.
David's like,
it's a comedy
literally,
show, but yep.
Literally turning it into dick jokes. Like, almost, quite literally. And I'm like, wait, I want to...
But no, please, go, answer.
Yeah. It was a bit of a mixed bag, I will say. Mm-hmm. There was times where I was like, oh, thank God we have an answer. Because it was just like, okay, blah, blah, blah. But then there was times where it was like, you think your kid's going to be normal, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then there's times where I'm like, are people going to understand him? You know what I mean? What is his life going to be like? So it kind of changed by the day. Again, I leaned into some Facebook groups. There's a great group called Manhattan Special Kids. And again, it has its gamuts where some people are like, they go nuts. And another person is like, here, this is this form, call this person, blah, blah, blah. You're going to have to call them 100,000 times, but you'll get an answer back, whatever. And then once I kind of started to find his school community, that's where it started to get really chill. Yeah. And then also in this show, there's a lot of parents in the show. So I lean on them a lot. Sometimes we'll have in the winter, once a month, we would do a family between shows, and we would go and hang out in the lobby, and all the kids would run around together. It was really cool. It was really, really nice. Yeah. And so just getting to know them and talking to them and having their kids know Dash, and like they didn't care at all. They were just like, Dash, come on, blah, blah, and they went running up and down the stairs, whatever. It was great. So, it was a mixed bag. A lot of times, some of the hardest parts was family, dealing with it and giving information that they don't know isn't exactly the right information. Because of course, all we were doing all day on our phones, just researching. Yeah. And somebody will come with something that's like, nope, that's not exactly what he has. That's not really going to work. That's going to exacerbate something, or, well, he's not quite ready for that yet. So that was kind of interesting navigating that. But yeah, it kind of changed on the day. And especially as he progresses and as he gets older, it changes again. Because now he's at the point where you would think in kindergarten, he'd really be making like his best friends. But I don't know if he really understands that they're friends, or, you know what I mean? Or how they understand. And obviously with our schedules and stuff, we're not, and his school is a bit farther from us. We're in Washington Heights and the school is in East Harlem. So we're not able to be quite as hands-on at the school as we would want to be. So we don't get to see the other parents and the teachers quite so much. So that feels a little disconnected.
Yeah,
sometimes.
Like he leaves and goes and does stuff and then just comes back, and we know that the bus drops him off at 3:30.
And we're like, well,
and it's like, what did he do at school that day? Yeah. Getting that information is also very difficult.
Yeah. Well, then what advice would you have for parents who have a young kid, a toddler who's just been diagnosed?
Get them professionally diagnosed as soon as absolutely possible. Try to find out as many resources as you have. I know it is the Wild West, but Facebook that special group truly saved my life many, many times, because I just didn't know where to look. And you're coming from parents who literally just did it like 2 years ago, or they did it and it changed, because that's also another thing. You'll do that, and over the year, an extra step has been added, like because of COVID. Do you know what I mean? An extra step has been added for something, and they're like, oh, make sure you do this, blah, 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 blah. Or you might find somebody that's like, oh, that did not work at all. For your kid sounds a lot like mine. That one didn't work at all for mine. So try this one. If you don't end up getting that one, just try to dive into the community as much as possible. Because autism is such a spectrum sometimes on a state or medical level, you don't get the right people that really want to treat it for the spectrum that it is. You have to look at many more different options. And those parents were able to say, no, that doctor just wanted to throw them on a pill or something like that. You just said, oh my God, it's ADHD, blah, blah, blah. And it wasn't. It was this. When I took him to this doctor, they looked at this. And if you want to do a more food-based, thing first, you can go here, blah, blah, blah. So just really, really lean in to community and just try to find the people that you like. I found some folks that we ended up personally texting each other now, and we go back and forth, and we have done some park meetups and stuff like that. And so you just lean into the,
and it's also not as, I mean, it is scary because of the unknown, but it can be such a solution for the individual in such a great way. I literally yesterday read an article that Bella Ramsey, who is the lead actress in The Last of Us, just literally found out that she was autistic.
Yeah.
And
girls are typically diagnosed way later in life, which is interesting, because girls are usually supposed to be so much more talkative and extroverted and blah, 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 which a lot of times is the complete opposite of is what autism is. You're a little more introverted. You might not be as talkative, blah, 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 but they don't think about it a lot with girls when they're younger. They go immediately to it with boys a lot.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it seems like you are. You always get the kid you're supposed to have, and you. I mean, there are so many unpredictable unknowns of the path that we trod, and so that's why we're here, is to help each other out.
But also to be honest, being able to be honest about, like, sometimes you're like, God, I just wish you were different. I wish this wasn't, and then also not really feeling that way, and feeling guilty that you ever felt that you wished he was normal, and that back and forth,
whatever that means.
That's fucking parenting every day.
Because I do think about times where I was trying to figure out if he could repeat 4K in order to get him more training and blah, 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 and like kind of re-up on stuff. And one of his teachers was like, absolutely not. She was like, 1, the state probably won't let you do that. She was like, 2, I have seen kids like him. He needs to keep going. And now he's reading and writing at like almost a second grade level.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. She was like, don't stop him. And I was like, okay. So you get those special little angels that are like, no, wait. Mm-hmm. Just listen to this one thing. Everything else, don't listen to a word I say. But this one thing,
And here on Gaytriarchs, don't listen to anything we say. Please don't.
Anything.
Ever.
Sorry about this, Ryan Reynolds, but thanks for listening.
Of course.